Congresswoman Karen Bass, I am calling you from Washington, D.C. I want you to know that I'm being held hostage here. I'm being held hostage by the Republicans so that they can give these crazy tax cuts to the wealthiest people in our country and so that they can continue to gut health care. But you know what? Before I get into that, I thought I would share with you what I received today. Look at this envelope. This came from the White House today. Hope everybody can see that. This giant envelope. Well, in this giant envelope is a giant Christmas card. Who does this? Why would he send us a giant Christmas card? I think about the Christmas cards that I used to get from the Obamas, a beautiful little card with the family. Anyway, this is where he puts his time. This is what he thinks of himself. So I voted for the second time against the tax cuts. You probably heard we had to vote twice because they messed it up the first time. So we had to vote again. Now we're all waiting to vote against their budget, which, you know, the government runs out of money on Friday, so we have to figure out how to fund the government, probably until January. And so that's what we're doing. But I want to make sure that everybody understands a few things that are in this tax plan, because everybody in Los Angeles and in California, our taxes were just raised. They talk about a tax cut. Everybody, our taxes just got raised. The reason they got raised is because in California, in New York, in New Jersey, those states that are blue states, meaning majority Democratic, we're able to deduct our state and income taxes when we file. We can deduct our state and local taxes from our income taxes when we file taxes every year. That allows us to get more money. I don't know whether they sat back and said, let's pay back all of the states that didn't vote for Trump, but we just got a tax raise because we're not going to be able to deduct as much from our state and local taxes as we were before. Now, all of this was to cut taxes for corporations. Yeah, you can say we had a high tax rate for corporations, but I know you know that the major corporations never paid that rate because they have all kinds of loopholes. The Republicans didn't close any of the loopholes, so by reducing the tax rate for corporations, they really got a good deal because they get to keep all their same loopholes and pay less in taxes, which means many more corporations will be able to walk away paying no taxes at all. The other thing they used the tax bill to do was to sabotage the Affordable Care Act, another swipe at Obamacare. So they got rid of the individual mandate. And you know, the way insurance works is the way everybody is able to be covered is when everybody has to participate. That's why you have to have car insurance in the state of California. So the other thing they put in the tax bill that I thought was particularly offensive, they're marketing it like parents are going to benefit because there is a child tax credit. But you know what? If you make $400,000, you get to deduct a couple $1,000s for child care. But if you make minimum wage, you get to deduct $75 from your taxes. So the more money you make, the more you get to deduct for child care. Now, don't you think it should be the exact opposite? And then here's the real killer. The Republicans who are always worried about the deficit, this bill, this tax bill blows a hole in the deficit. Well, let me tell you one reason why that's so important. Mark my words, when we come back in January, the Republicans are going to start complaining about the deficit, and they're going to say, aha, we need to look at Medicaid. In California, it's called Medi-Cal. We need to look at Medicare. We need to look at Social Security. We need to look at TANF, which formerly was called welfare. We need to look at all of the safety net programs that they call entitlements. I call protections. We need to cut money from the safety net so that we can make sure that the corporations and the wealthiest people in our country can continue to get their tax breaks. So, another day in Washington. I hope that they release the hostages tomorrow. If they do, I'll keep you posted on what is happening and what happens next. In spite of all of that, I do want to say, find some kind of way to have a good holiday season, okay? Now, the good news is we had a heck of a victory in Alabama. More victories to come next year. Thank you very much, Congresswoman Karen Bass.